Hey guys, and welcome back to the Geek Box, and today we're going to be looking at a special list that's been requested by another YouTuber I know called Pragmatic, and that is the top 10 saddest moments in gaming. Obviously, emotions are one of the things that tie into a great game, especially when it's got a storyline that you can follow and love, and sad moments are just one of those parts as well that stick in your head. So I've done my top 10 list of sad moments that have stuck with me through gaming.
What the hell is this?
It's all right, Joe.
Is it done?
It's done.
All right, then. Looks like a celebration is in order. Come on, let's head to the cat house.
Sounds good to me.
Come with me, Vito.
Starting this off, the end of Mafia II, Joe dies. Now obviously you don't see Joe die, but at the end you get separated into the two cars after a deal's gone wrong, and a deal has been made to see who survives, and you survive, but your best friend Joe, who you've played the entire game through with, who you've known since your teenage years, is sent off in the other car, being taken up by this one line by Leo.
Sorry, kid. Joe wasn't part of our deal.
Yep, that summed up the entire thing. The fact that you managed to come out of this okay, but the sacrifice is made that Joe has to pay the price instead to keep people happy. And it's a moment that shocks you, as it seems like you've just got to the happy ending and then you get that bittersweet touch on the end of it. So this definitely had to start the list off as one of the things that stuck into my mind.
The facility is not operational. It never has been. I'm afraid you're wasting your time here.
Sir, this is the last time I am going to repeat myself. Stand down at once and turn over control of this facility.
James's death in Fallout 3. Now, this is another case of the whole game is built around you trying to find your father. You find him, you get reunited after saving him from Tranquility Lane, and then you suddenly find yourself going on a whole new adventure with him, launching the project that brought him and your mother together in the first place. Little did you know this would lead on to a tragedy where, when the Enclave tried to take over the project, James, your father, ends up making the ultimate sacrifice right in front of your eyes and giving himself up, allowing the Project Purity to be kept safe. James's death was obviously a shock in the series as well, just simply because so much of the game had been based around you trying to find him in the first place, just to see him fall at this point.
Run. Run!
And next we look at one of the saddest moments from a first person shooter that I've definitely seen. Soap dies. Now this is sad for a variety of reasons really. The main one obviously being that this is the guy you played as in the very first game, and you followed his story across the 3 different games, leading to Modern Warfare 3, where you see Soap worked his way up the ranks just to get killed in the middle of a skirmish. But the second reason is you get to finally see Captain Price lose his cool properly and realising how much he cared about Soap. Just watching that moment of panic as he realises that Soap's died. This is one that definitely stuck into the mind. And it was one of those turning points that throughout all the great big things that they put in the Modern Warfare series, this one isolated moment truly told the way the story was going, and it pushed for the ending that you got of how Price dealt with Makarov.
Oh no, 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 no! Soap! No, no, no! Price! Soap! You have to go now! Get off me! I'm sorry. And also,
Lee's death at the end of the Telltale's Walking Dead. Now this is the one where it comes down to the choices that you get to make, but either way, whether you shoot Lee yourself or walk out and let him be turned into one of the walkers, you know that he's going to die. And after the whole story of him looking after and protecting Clementine, for her to be the one left as well, having to make the choice of how she dealt with the situation, it was just a tragic ending to a fantastic series that the Telltales group managed to make, and one that I know stuck with a lot of people after they finished playing it.
Yes? Gift from Dmitry Raskolov. Oh my God!
The ending for Grand Theft Auto 4. Well, as this is also my favourite Grand Theft Auto of the entire series, the ending was just as tragic to match up. No matter what choices you made in the game, Niko Bellic was going to lose somebody important to him. So you had the choice of either losing your cousin, who in the game you see is basically like his brother, or losing the woman that he loved. But at the end of GTA, you were left with a revenge mission for one or the other, and it was a sad moment to see that no matter what you did, even when you went back and replayed it to get a different ending, that you still were going to lose out on this one.
Oh, come on out of this blood clot. Niko, come on.
Don't look back. And don't be worried about me, you hear? Now get going.
You stay out of trouble, John.
Ain't no trouble, Abigail. Ain't no trouble. I love you.
John Marston's death. Well, this is another one where we see a character that you spend an entire game with, you develop a relationship with, you get tied into the story, and then at the end he faces off against the people you fought for in an act of betrayal where he gets shot down into the ground. Obviously the moments leading up to it, of seeing John send his wife and his son away knowing what was coming, it all adds to the drama and the emotion that you feel, and the end of this journey with John you have. This is the moment that most people go to when you talk about Red Dead Redemption 1, and that is why it definitely is one of the saddest moments, just seeing how this man almost built himself back up to the point where he could be a hero, gets taken down in such a sad manner.
If you are asked, say I sent the apple away. Tell them I sent it to Cyprus or Cipango, or that I dropped it into the sea.
Altair's last moment, Assassin's Creed Revelations. Now again, it's another one where you follow Altair through the entire series. You played as him in the first game, his story is reiterated through the other games, and then in Revelations, Ezio lived the last moments of Altair's life, filling in the plugs of what happened after Assassin's Creed 1, until eventually you come to the bit where the assassin locks himself into the library and just sits there knowing that he's kept the world safe from the apple, protecting its secrets from the Templars and those that would use it against mankind. It's always made more sad by the fact that Altair lived his whole life with a lot of tragedies happen to him himself, being left on his own in the end apart from his son who went off to his own family, just to sit and accept the end of his life and the fact that his mission was complete. And the bitter side that comes with it is there's no action behind it, it's just simply a hero fulfilling his role in destiny. Snake kills the boss, Metal Gear Solid 3. Now, this is another one that's tragic for more than one reason. The one being the fact that Snake, you've played all the way through the game, you've learnt about his relationship with the boss. You never quite knew what the boundary was of the fact that he loved her as a woman or that he loved her like a mother. But at the end of the game, you face off against each other, and when you win the battle, you are left with boss on the floor, yourself with gun in hand pointed right at her head. Then the second stage to this tragedy is that then the game makes you pull the damn trigger yourself. So you have to actually pick the moment that the boss dies, and then watching all the flowers flow from a beautiful white out through a sea of blood red afterwards, marking death spreading outwards. It's just designed to attack you like most things in Metal Gear, to get you on an emotional level. And then for the final killer shot, actually then revealing that the entire time the boss was not defecting against you and was working for the Americans, knowing that she would have to sacrifice herself, and that the entire legacy of Big Boss was going to be built on the taint of the fact that she made that sacrifice in the first place. So all in all, this was a proper tearjerker of a game moment, especially for those that followed the Metal Gear series like myself all the way from day one, and it had to have its top place in any of these kinds of lists as far as I'm concerned. Aerith dying. One of the most iconic moments in gaming ever. Final Fantasy VII is the most popular Final Fantasy game of the entire franchise, and this moment is one of the main reasons why. Aerith dying, seeing her drop down after Sephiroth runs her through with Masamune, it's just one of those moments that people are still begging them to bring back, or to have something added where you can bring her back to life. Watching Cloud's heart be warmed as he fell in love with Aerith, and then adding that tragedy onto it, was just a perfect way to turn the story around and create a whole different type of character for Cloud. And most fans, as I said, are praying with the remake that they create some sort of alternate option where Aerith gets to survive this moment. So this is always going to be a top finalist in these sorts of lists, as so many people refer to this and were affected by this. And for a lot of people, this was the first big gaming death they ever dealt with in a game series that they played. Dom's death, Gears of War 3. Now this has to be one of the most iconic deaths for more than one reason. The death itself was just a piece where Dom sacrificing himself after everything he'd gone through, his wife being turned, then she died, and then he had to deal with that grief whilst fighting the battle still. Dom turns himself to a point of sacrifice where he blows himself up to save Marcus and the rest of the team, and he knows that he's in a situation where they're probably going to die anyway, so he takes that moment to make that choice. The whole thing is topped off by an absolutely beautifully made cutscene, to the point where I'd just say it's purely artistic, with a musical version of Mad World playing in the background to set it off. The whole thing is just the ultimate tearjerker in gaming as far as I'm concerned, and I think it's one of those things that even when you watch it now, you cannot help but not have the lump in your throat. Listening to him still talking to his wife off in the distance, the goodbye, everything about it, right the way down to Marcus's reaction to Dom dying and his desperation to try and save him even when he knows it's too late. This was the ultimate scene of a sad moment in gaming.
Never thought it would end like this, huh? Huh, Maria? Dom! No!
Marcus! He's gone! He's gone! There's nothing you can do! Stop
Get
it!
off me! God
Stop
damn it! Let me get him out of there!
Well guys, thanks for joining me for the list, and let me know what your saddest moments were in gaming. Obviously this list was made off my experience with games that I've played and grown up with, etc. But I know everyone's got their own different list, and I love to know what you guys think of your own lists and what you think of this list. Well, anyway, thanks for watching guys, and if you haven't already, please feel free to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all the latest content. And if you like this video, please feel free to hit that like button and let me know, because I love to get the feedback from you guys, and I love all the support I get from you all the time. Well, I've been the Video Viking. Thanks for joining me on the Geek Box, and as always, I'll see you out there.